Don't let YouTube decide what information you get. That's your choice. YouTube is deleting our videos and cuts you off from a source of honest reporting. Make sure you don't lose access to NTD's news content, and take a quick moment to subscribe to our newsletter so no matter what happens here, you'll keep your access to a trustworthy news source.
Movie theaters are open again in New York City. They were closed for almost an entire year. NTD's Arian Pasdar has more on the reopening and the impact on the movie industry.
This is just one of many movie theaters in New York City opening their doors today, and quite a number of people have walked in already. We've asked those people how they feel about the reopening.
Very happy. Yeah, I was glad. Yeah, it's okay. You know, some people are more scared than others.
You know, at some point it's going to have to happen, and I feel like, you know, why not now, I suppose, with reasonable cautions.
New York City is the last part of the state to let movie theaters reopen. Right now they're allowed to operate at 25% capacity. The rest of the state is already at 50%. Some movies, like Christopher Nolan's Tenet, have been pushed back several times over the past year. Once premiered, Tenet still didn't make as much money as expected due to lower capacity and people being reluctant to go to cinemas.
I was a little bit skeptical, but knowing that we're double masking and that they're only limited capacity, I do feel a little bit more comfortable.
And the next Fast and Furious movie has been delayed until the end of June. That's partly because they're adapting to New York City's reopening. The Big Apple is the second largest movie-going region nationwide. Arian Pasdar, NTD News, New York.
People in San Francisco's Bay Area can start eating out together indoors in some counties, though locals say they have mixed feelings about it. NTD's Eileen Ang has more.
Most counties in the Bay Area are resuming indoor dining this week after their virus numbers improved. San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Napa, and Marin counties are now allowed to seat customers inside at 25% capacity.
I think it was just perfect time to let people or to let restaurants to dine in. I think that's going to help a lot more, or staying in business more importantly.
He said he had to close for a few months at the beginning of the lockdown. When he reopened, he had to adjust to takeout and rely on to-go companies like Uber Eats to increase sales. But this weekend, he'll be preparing for more indoor diners.
I'm one of the lucky businessmen that have a good outdoor dining, but there are people that, it gets cold and rain, so they look forward to sit down inside. Especially next week, Wednesday, more likely it's going to be rain, so I can't use my outdoor, but I'll let people in. So that's going to help me.
Others say opening for indoor and outdoor dining is beneficial for both customers and their business.
We are ready for opening inside doors. Everything is ready. My team are working hard for that, so we are ready to open inside.
Two locals say they are not ready to dine indoors, but that luckily they're still enjoying being outdoors.
We live in California. We have to enjoy the weather. But I still don't feel comfortable going inside though. So I'm just going to stay outside for a little longer.
And I think they're taking precautions inside, like spacing the tables, cleaning after everything. The waiters and waitresses are wearing masks. So I feel pretty confident that soon people will be able to go back.
She says she doesn't mind the outdoor dining environment because of its quiet downtown ambience.
Maybe like a European feel of more outdoor life, cafes and terraces open. So I'm enjoying that.
After a year of challenges, locals and their businesses continue to adapt to the changes. Other Bay Area counties may follow suit soon. Eileen Ang, NTD News, California.
Chicago is turning more violent this year with a record number of shootings and carjackings. More people are also buying firearms and visiting gun ranges. NTD's Cara Ding interviewed people at a Chicago gun range to find out more.
The number of carjackings in Chicago more than doubled from 2019 to 2020, and close to 400 people have already been shot in the city this year alone. Amid the surge in violent crimes, gun ownership among first-time buyers and Black Americans is rising significantly. Stanmore Sports Shooting Range is also seeing more visitors.
If something happens right now and I call 911, it's going to take them time to get there. So what am I going to do now? And that's why I want to know how to defend myself, and that's what I'm trying to help others be able to empower themselves to do.
Stanmore Sports is the first Black-owned shooting range in Illinois. The owner says business boomed last year and hundreds of people took firearm training lessons there.
In these classes, they teach you what you should and should not do. And I'm saying the gun is just not, the gun in all cases is not to kill. people. That's not the mindset you want. You want to just defend yourself, and that's the empowerment of it.
Stanford says he wants his gun range to teach people the positive use of firearms. He also encourages young men in his community to use firearms constructively and help their community.
But I want to be able to have the young men to understand that you can be a police officer, you can help your community, you can become a security officer, you can help your community, and these are involving having firearms. You can become military, like the young man said, and said help our nation.
A visitor to the gun range says she only learned how to shoot last year. That's because she had a traumatic experience with gun violence and was very afraid.
When you have that happen to you, it makes you so afraid that you don't even want to own one. You know what they can do, and then you come to understand it's not what the gun can do, it's the person behind it. But I was still afraid. But due to the recent things that have been going on in the world, I felt like I needed to protect myself and overcome this fear.
Another visitor to the range has been a gun owner for some years now, but she says she only started to visit the shooting range regularly since last year.
With everything that's been going on in the world, and especially recently with the carjackings and things of that sort, I just wanted to make sure that I protect myself. I'm a homeowner and I have kids, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm safe and able to defend myself against any harm.
The instructor at Stanmore Sports says a lot of gun laws go after illegal gun owners, and then these legal gun owners won't be able to defend themselves against criminals. He says they at the gun range want to make people feel safe. Reporting by Kara Ding and Allison Lee, NTD News.
A new survey shows that most Americans want President Biden to be tough on the Chinese regime. Americans' view of the regime has been worsening significantly since 2018. NTD's Tiffany Meyer has more.
A new survey shows that Americans want the U.S. to confront Communist China over its human rights abuses. In a recent survey by Pew Research Center, 70% of respondents say Washington should stand up to Beijing over its poor human rights record. They say this is more important than fostering economic ties with China. 90% of them consider Communist China an enemy or a competitor. Pew Research is an American think tank. It provides information on shaping trends in the world. Although Americans want a tough stance on China, nearly 50% in the survey have doubts that President Biden will be able to deal with Beijing effectively. Among a list of stats on Biden's handling of foreign policy issues, he got the lowest score in dealing with China. Across the board, negative views in the U.S. toward the communist regime have increased sharply. Since 2018, Americans who have a very cold perception of China doubled as of 2021. Similarly, Americans who had a very warm perception of China decreased by half as of 2021. But just over 50% saw Communist China's growing military as a very serious problem. The same percentage said that China handled the CCP virus outbreak poorly. The Pew Research survey was conducted over a 7-day period in February. It sampled about 2,600 American adults.
A report in the UK shows that dog napping is on the rise. But why would someone steal a dog? And how do they find their targets? NTD's Sapphire Corder tells us more.
People enjoy posting pictures of their dogs on social media.
I mean, I am guilty of that because I haven't even created a whole Instagram page for my puppy.
My dog has a very humble, 100 followers.
While it may seem harmless, if you aren't careful, you may never see your dog again. Dognapping. It sometimes happens when thieves go on social media and look for valuable dogs. They find identifying information in the pictures of the dogs, kidnap them, and resell them.
Dog theft is a very common problem. You have to pay attention because thieves are quick. And the smaller the dog, the more susceptible they are to theft.
The thief may then pretend they got the dog through legal means.
9 times out of 10, the person purchasing a stolen dog is unaware that this dog has another owner, has been stolen, or is taken by other shady means.
While some dogs are caught between 2 homes, others can't even find one, and shelters don't always have room for them. Dawn Fereza used to live near a dog shelter. She says that you could find even the most sought-after breeds.
Anything you want, Shih Tzus, Poodles, any breed you can imagine.
But many dogs do have happy homes and dedicated owners. Over 6 million American families have dogs, and the number is still growing. Sapphire Quarter, NTD News, New York.